60 MPs in a session hall under dimmed lights, raising their hands to cast their vote. This is the footage of a Moldovan parliament appointing a new cabinet of ministers. Throughout the spring of 2019, the political situation in Chisinau grew tense, as parliament members failed to form a coalition. The spark in this explosive situation came from the Constitution Court, which ruled that the parliament must be dismissed. To stop this from happening, MPs did what was originally thought to be impossible. For the first time in the history of the country, two parties with radically opposing ideologies, the pro-EU Acum bloc and the pro-Russian Socialist Party, joined their forces. This was done in order to sideline just one politician. His name is Volodymyr Zelensky, and he is by far the most influential oligarch in Moldova.
As ironic as that sounds, what unites us is Mr. Plahotniuk. The evil that he represents, the problem that he created, the usurpation of state power in the country, the seized state that people are talking about within Moldova, and fortunately outside the country as well, is all the doing of Mr. Plahotniuk. It's a system which was built on lies and corruption through and through, the system which operated for a very narrow circle of people and which provided absolutely no opportunities and no development for the majority of Moldova's citizens.
Socialist Zinaida Gruchani was elected as the parliament speaker, while Acum leader Maia Sandu became prime minister. In the evening of June 8th, tents began to emerge outside government buildings in Chisinau. Later, it became known that the protesters were on the payroll of the Plahotniuk's Democratic Party. Many of them set up their tents right here by the cabinet of Moldova. They pretty much stayed here day and night in an attempt to prevent new ministers, the ones they refused to recognize, from getting to their workplace. They just shouldn't speak to the media, and we're used to people who come out to protest, willingly speaking their mind and express what it is, what they want, why they came out. Meanwhile, the government, controlled by Vlad Plahotniuk and his Democratic Party, refused to resign, even after the new cabinet was recognized by the EU, the United States, and even Russia. This power struggle continued for 6 days, until MPs belonging to the Democratic Party announced their resignation. That same day, Vlad Plahotniuk suddenly leaves Moldova, his associates claiming to be unaware of his whereabouts.
We heard that his life and the life of his family was in serious danger. We hope that he and his family are doing well. He no longer has any involvement in the affairs of the Democratic Party.
30 high-rank officials were fired or resigned voluntarily, including the general prosecutor.
The Republic of Moldova is at a turning point now. We need to clean all the Augean stables which have accumulated in the Republic over these very long years of independence. Change this dated Soviet management system which doesn't work, doesn't fulfill its functions.
Moldova's new Prime Minister Maia Sandu has held a number of meetings with European politicians. Her visit to Kyiv was historic. Pro-European politicians of the two countries had never met at such a level before.
There was no meeting between presidents because Dodon couldn't meet with Poroshenko. We wanted to meet each other in person, establish personal contact.
A month later, the political situation stabilized. The government and the parliament continue to work. Meanwhile, the opposition is pointing to the fragility of the newly created union in the parliament.
I have a feeling that the pro-Russian party, Russia, is in full control now. The Russian Prime Minister has visited twice in 1 month. I have a feeling that Russia has taken control over Moldova.
In October, local elections are to be held. They will show the level of stability of the coalition in Moldova. Reported by Olga Volynets, Chisinau, UATV.